All right, my beauties, and yes, I'm referring to you men out here too. Everything is beautiful. Life is beautiful no matter what's going to happen on this crazy week. And we're going to talk about that. So welcome to my newest segment of Markets A Look Ahead. This is going to be one for, maybe for the record books, sincerely. Let's talk about this coming week beginning tomorrow morning. Geopolitical events are going to take center stage here. We got this, I'm going to just say it, dog shit government shutdown or partial shutdown that might be coming up on Friday. Look, I don't care who's in charge around here. We're the laughing stock of the earth right now. We're supposed to be a shining example for other countries around the world. We can't, our political leaders can't get their act together no matter what they do. It's just laughable, it's disgusting, and it's embarrassing, seriously, as well. So with that said, you're going to hear a lot of this entire week. Geopolitical events are going to shape this market, no doubt about it. And the Federal freaking Reserve this week. We're going to hear from the Fed this week, and they're going to make monetary policy. Hold on a second here. Wednesday. Wow. That's going to be. I have my little calendar here. Wednesday we're going to hear from it. All right, you know how I like to refer to the Federal Reserve as it. We already know what's going to happen here, and let me set the stage here just real quick. We got the Trump-Powell put under this market, where there was no capitulation here. This was a charade that was played on every single one of us, you and me included. Not me, and I know not you actually, because you all get it. This is a game. It's for the sheep. You see my window here? Bah, bah, bah. That's them out there that this is being played for. It's a game. Very dangerous game. President Trump, good cop. Federal Reserve, bad cop. President Trump wants to keep the easy money pouring into this market until his eyeballs explode. Meanwhile, the right thing to do is raise rates, normalize this market. Everything is freaking fake. But no, they want this bubble to burst at full force, and it will at one point. But this, my lovely friends, it's what's going to happen this week. If I'm wrong, I will obviously come out here publicly and admit it, but I've only been wrong one time. One time since 2009 with the Federal Reserve regarding what they would do. They're going to raise rates this week, 25 basis points. We're talking about a 1/4% to the federal funds rate, the very short end of the curve. Everyone's making a big deal about this. Now, if we really have an economic recovery, I'm sorry. It's a boom now. We went from recovery to boom, which is also a dog shit story. We can't handle this? Are you kidding me? It's all to keep the stock market propped up. That's all this. Look, nothing matters right now except the stock market, because it's a game that they use to fleece the middle class on a grand scale. And the middle class sits here looking around dazed and confused when it happens. It's a repetitive cycle over and over again, and the distractions. Look here, don't look here. This idiot politician saying something more idiotic to this politician over here, and people are sitting there looking at their TV screens like this. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Really? Is this what's happening? Has the human race, not you, devolved to such a level that this is what we get? I mean, I would imagine so. Look, on a micro scale, let's look at our leadership here across the spectrum. And I'm not picking on the president. I'm talking about all of them, the whole motley crew of imbeciles that's making our country, and you and me, if you're an American citizen, look like a piece of excrement, floating out to sea, surging out to sea. It's too much. It really is. Anyway, so this is what's going to dominate the financial landscape this week. Geopolitical garbage, the Federal Reserve, and they're going to raise rates this week. The market is already anticipating it, I believe at least. And what does that mean? I don't think it's going to be a sell the news moment. I think stocks are going to actually respond in a positive way, and you're going to watch the 10-year yield probably drop like we saw the last time this happened. When was that? September? something like that. Anyway, it's just too much. It really is. Now, with that said, let's go over to my freaking lovely website and look at a few charts together so we can see what the technicals are telling us here. But again, this week is really not about technicals for the most part. This is going to be about geopolitical fundamental issues, not too much on the technical side. You got to put all this together. I have no idea how pure technical traders make money in this market, honestly. So let's go over to my lovely website, traderschoice.net. There is a link in the description of this video. Let's look at a few charts. Now, if you're there already, let me open it up. Ha! Voila. Here we go, my lovely friends. Let's look at a few things here. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. All right, below this gauge here, current technical position of SPY, the ETF that tracks the S&P 500, brackets, month. Everyone keeps writing to me about this. Greg, is this a day trading chart? Gauge? No, it says month. Please open your eyeballs. Okay, with that said, this is not looking good for a monthly perspective. 9 sell signals. You see that? 10 neutral, 5 buys. So be very cautious here. Now, with regard to the Federal Reserve making their announcement on Wednesday, I'm not saying that the market's going to hold on to any gains here. I just think the market's going to respond positively to whatever comes out of its mouth. Because it's already been set up between the president, good cop, Powell, bad cop, Trump, Powell put under the market. What has not worked was phase 2 of this, the supposed China trade truce, which turned out to not be a truce. And they're going to try to push that home. But we're going to see more fake news with regard to that. For all of you that follow my tweets and President Trump's tweets, you know what I pulled off last week. Incredible. I said, watch what's going to happen. You're going to see a fake story floated out to try to prop up the market regarding China trade on Twitter. 1 minute later, the president himself complies. Says, oh, guess what? The big deal's coming, and it's coming soon. 1 stinking minute later. It's incredible. All right. So we're looking at this gauge. Now let's go right above here. Let's look at my lovely trading chart. This is already set up for SPY. Now, what I want you to pay attention to, number one, look at those blue bands. See those blue bands there? We are below that middle band, and we got a nice fat red candlestick there. That's bearish. That's bearish. So just keep that in mind. Now, while we're on this chart, I want you to put in GLD, enter. Okay, look at the 3 bands here. You notice that we made a move above that upper band. We just fell below the upper blue band here. We have 2 red candlesticks. Okay. We are still above that middle blue line there. That is bullish here. That is bullish. Let's look at SLV. SLV, enter. Same scenario here, okay? I'm not saying we're not going to bleed off a little bit more. Looking at this with regard to GLD, the paper derivative of gold, and SLV, the paper derivative of silver, these things do not exist. They are not real, and they're not on the elemental chart, but we have this, okay? Just think of how twisted that is. Anyway, that's what's going on here. Now let's go right over here, right next to us, and look at that bond market chart. You can see all the action here. That red candlestick you're seeing there is telling me that we might see a little pressure on the bond market, and we'll see how this plays out on Wednesday when we get the announcement from the freaking Federal Reserve from it. Let's go right down lower here and look at the dollar bullish ETF. That's a flag pattern. I don't know if you guys recognize that big long green, couple of small greens, and then you have this trailing off here. So what this says to me is that dollar is going to get a little bit stronger. Gauging at this, looking at this chart right here, let's keep our eye on that. You all know that the dollar is the fly. The dollar is the biggest fly in the ointment with regard to the debt market. The dollar is a unit of debt. All fiat currencies are units of debt. You all know that. Super important. One more thing. I want you to look over here, right over here, at my current credit spreads. These are all of my current positions right now. Disney and Microsoft expired on Friday. I'm happy to say I got to keep 100% of the profit on those spreads. Let's see how these play out. Now, the reason why I want you to look at this for you lions that maybe are in on this Johnson & Johnson trade, if you notice, I sold December 21st, next week, they expire, 132 puts. We did fall below that on Friday. We now are above it. Let's keep our eye on that trade, okay? You're not always going to win every single one of these, but if you've been following my trades, I don't think anyone on the planet can do better than this. It's the truth. I'm not tooting my own horn, and that's why I put all this stuff here so you can model what I am doing, okay? To make it easy for you, it's for free. I can't imagine someone else that's doing this besides myself. Learn credit spreads. My beautiful lions, my beautiful people. Ooh, that's a song. Okay. The beautiful people, beautiful people. Yeah, I'm crazy. All right, so anyway, with that said, so in summary, just real quick, let me close this page. All right, in summary, real quick, geopolitical events are going to haunt the week. We got the Fed this week. I expect some extreme volatility, both directions. Let's see where this goes, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I really am. It's too much. I just want you to keep this in mind too before I let you all go. With regard to our current environment, what we are witnessing here, debts exploding, deficits, continue to blow up to the upside, and how any rational human being can sit back and think this is all good, well, I think that says something about that individual. It's not all good, and it's going to be such a monumental price to pay for this at one point. Nothing is free. There is no free lunch. So this entire environment is not real. It is not real, and it is going to become real. And I mean real like you have no idea. I know you do if you follow this blog. Anyway, with that said, let's see how this plays out. Going to be lovely, as usual. And of course, remember, right around here, and everywhere else, little puffs of loveliness are surrounding us all. I love all of you. See you in the morning.